Now, the controversy generated by the return of the former chairman of the Presidential Pension Reform Task Team, Abdul Rashid Maina, is yet to die down. Now, the Minister of Interior, Abdurrahman Dambazawa, has asked Maina to report to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. This directive is contained in an official correspondence sent to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission by the Ministry of Interior in response to a letter written by the Anti-Corruption Agency asking the ministry to make Maina available for questioning. But in an intriguing twist, Maina's family members today says the ex-chairman of the Presidential Task Force on Pension Reform was brought in by President Buhari to fight corruption. Yes, you heard right. That's what the family is saying. They faulted the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for sealing off properties belonging to him in Kaduna and Abuja on account of alleged corruption. Let's now get some perspective to it. Our regular analyst right here on Channels Television, Mr. Daniel Buala, a lawyer, joins us now to give perspective on this matter. Thank you so much, Mr. Buala, for joining us on this program. On the issue of Maina, that's been a major one. When the family says the president brought him back into the country, how does this information come to you? What do you make of it when you read through the details of that news, the bit of that news that came in today?
Right. Development that has happened in the since his return and the announcement of his arrest is quite interesting, and especially because they also posted a couple of information through all the media possible, including the press conference today. And you made mention of the order or directive by the Minister of Interior that he should present himself to EFCC. To me, that's the right thing to do. When Economic and Financial Crimes Commission invite you, usually it must be in connection to either movement of money traceable to you, connected to you, or from you or your loved ones, and or assets. So if he believes that he was invited by this administration to help the administration, there is nothing wrong in presenting himself to EFCC. And you see, why we got confused with all of the things he was saying was because he said he had to run out of the country because his life was threatened under Goodluck Jonathan's administration. So when Buhari came on board and he claimed Buhari liked the fact that he is fighting corruption, ordinarily one would think that he will catch the available flight and come home. But he has not been able to come until when he was reinstated. So to me, the development that has taken place is quite encouraging. He has also, in the rejoinder he made, that a lot of people are going to be implicated. As Nigerians, we are looking forward to it. We have our cup of coffee on our tables, waiting to see how everything unfolds.
As a lawyer, how would you advise, how would you suppose that the investigation by the presidency will go, considering the chain of reaction that is coming up now and the people, the personalities that are supposedly involved in all of these top officials of government?
Right. It is quite surprising. When I heard the video, I think he released the video where he granted an interview. I don't know when it was that he granted the interview while he was abroad, in which he said at the time they constituted a committee which he was chairing, that almost all the agencies that you can think of in the government were involved in it. And so if that is what he's saying, this is part of what he needs to do when it comes to, EFCC. And I think he should also make a presentation of his desire to see the president. If he thinks that, for example, somebody is stopping him and there are things that are yet to be revealed. For us as a people, this is quite disappointing as a nation, that there will never be a day we will wake up without hearing a scandal, a scam, or, this kind of bad news. To have government functionaries, high-level government officials involved in this kind of thing, actually, I think is a sign of hopelessness. Now, my concern is that the presidency, if you look at the past few cases in which the presidency ordered for investigation to be carried out, my challenge is that, number one, it takes longer time. And number two, even when the report is given, we do not hear official statements. So this is where the problem is. Take, for example, the case of the NIA boss and then the SGF. The report was submitted to the president. Nothing up till this moment has been done. So one will start to wonder and get worried that whether if this committee sits to determine this matter, at the end of the day, we are going to see any proactive step, by the government.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Buala, for your thoughts there. we'll get back to you for more because we know this will go on in the coming days. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Buala, member of the Lincoln team. Thank you so much for your time there. Well, Channels Television, in collaboration with its partners, is organizing a debate for the Anambra governorship candidates where they are expected to speak about the commitments and plans for the people of the state. In the meantime, we have been engaging members of different political parties in Anambra State ahead of a crucial governorship election scheduled for November the 18th. Well then, one of those that we have engaged on the program, we've actually taped this interview earlier, is the candidate of the All Progressives Congress in the Anambra governorship election race, that is Honorable Tony Nwe, who is a sitting member of the House of Representatives. We had an interview with him, and we started by asking him on issues relating to his emergence as a candidate of the party. And of course, he did tell us about his emergence and also the sponsors that he got and how he crossed from the PDP to the APC. Those are the kind of conversations that we've had with him, of course. Let's give you some of the sound bites of that interview. Okay, we take a moment on the program. When we return, we give you that interview right here on the program.